Hi and welcome to the first bonus lecture for the beginner series in creating games in Roblox Studio. So I am going to open up Roblox Studio here and we're going to create just a new project to work with this. Now what we're going to learn in this lecture is how to spawn parts into the workspace both locally and on the server. So let's create a new project. Now if you're wondering what that means, in the actual course that we've just completed, you would have seen that we put a part into the workspace. Now before we do that, let's just create a spawn point where we can work from. Okay. For some reason or other mine spawns very large. It comes up as 12 by 1, so I don't want it that big. So let's just go 12 by 0.5, 7 by 0.5 by 7. There we go. So we've got a spawn point where our player will land. Now I'll just check which way it's facing, and you can do that in the surface and the front surface. And as you can see, the yellow box here shows me when you spawn, we're going to spawn facing this way. Alright, so now we've got this, let's save it as spawning parts. Now I've already done one in here, so I'll just call mine what I need to in here, which is bonus lecture. Actually, we'll call this spawning parts. There we go. Alright, and I like to put in a version, so we probably won't need all of these version numbers, but I just do it like this at the end. Alright, so once we've saved that, let's publish it to Roblox. So file, publish to Studio. And I already have one in here, which is the beginner course for me, but you can create your own place over here, and you should be familiar with how to do that. So we're just waiting, there it is. Alright, so now that we have our spawn point, let's put a couple of parts into our game. So just spawn, come up here and put a part into the game, and we're going to change the name of this part to server part. Alright, and before we do anything else to it, let's change its color. We'll make it yellow. And we'll also come down to the properties here, and we will make sure it's anchored so it doesn't fall through the floor. You can leave everything else as it is, and we'll simply make ours square, so 4 by 4 by 4. There we go. I'll just make sure he's not, there he is, so just touching the base. Alright, so what we can do then is, if we've got this highlighted, hit Command D or Control D on PC to duplicate this. And we can drag that over to here. And for this one, we're going to change this to a local part. Alright, and make it a different colour to, say, a blue. Alright, so as we can see, server part's yellow, local part is blue. Now we're going to put these in different places over here in our folders, and I'll explain more as we go along. However, if you take your server part, and down here you'll see ServerStorage, so just drag it into ServerStorage and let it go. And we're going to take the local part and we're going to put it into replicated storage. Now replicated storage is accessed both by the client, which is your computer, and the server, which is the Roblox computer. So this is a shared area. ServerStorage, however, is only on the Roblox computer. So clients, like my computer and your computer, don't have direct access to this when a game is running, and with good reason. Alright. It's security, and it also allows us to do specific things in our games to make different things happen. So now we've got our parts in the right places, we want to write our scripts. So we're going to put a script we'll deal with our server script, our server part first. So click on server script service and the plus sign, and we're going to add a script, and we'll name our, let's call this spawn server part script. Alright, bit of a long name, however it is quite descriptive. So to make this easier to see, Command plus if you want to know how to make that bigger. Alright, and we don't need this in here. So now we have this. What we want to do is, remember we're dealing with the server part, so we want to have access to server storage, and the way we do that is we create a variable, and we can call this server storage, same name. You could just call it SS for server storage, but for the sake of making it readable, we'll call it the same thing. Now we're going to use game and then a colon. Alright, so colon, as you can see, bring up a bunch of built-in functions, and the one we're going to look for, if I type in get service, there it is. So this is a service, server script service, replicated storage, and server storage. As you'll see, if I start typing in here, it fills things in for me because these are legitimate services. Okay, so we want server storage. There it is. Now do be careful not to use the autocomplete and put something different in, because it won't work. Okay, it's not going to find anything. So now we have our server storage, which is this. We want to look in it for this part. So this will be our server part. So we'll make a variable for that. And we're going to look in server storage. And we're going to put in here wait for child. And look for this part here. Alright, so, and it has to be spelt exactly the same way. Now the reason I put wait for child there is because this is here and we're spawning it, or a game's running and there might be a bunch of things in here. Wait for child just lets this load first before we do anything with it, because you will find sometimes you get weird errors that happen when it can't find the files. So basically what we've done is we've said, okay, this is where we're holding our parts we want to spawn, and this is the part that we want to spawn here. Now we can't use this directly, but what we can do is make a copy of it, which is what we'll do here. So we'll say server part copy. Now that's the variable name, and the way we copy something, so we say server part, another colon, alright, clone. Alright, that's how we make a copy of this part and store it in this variable. And then it's very simple. We can then take server part copy, so our new copied part, and we're going to make its parent equal to workspace, which is where you play the game. So we haven't said anywhere particular in the workspace, just in the workspace. So if you remember, we put our part here. So if I click on these, see how it shows you this is its location. Even though you can't see it, when it spawns, that is where it's going to spawn, here. So if I took that part out of there, back into workspace, and I stuck it right over in the corner over here, dragged it back into server storage, it's going to spawn wherever I took it from. Now we can change the position, I'll show you how to do that. However, for now, just know it will spawn wherever it was when you put it into server storage. So let's give this a try. We'll go save to file and publish. Right, now as you can see, nothing in here. Let's give it a play and see if our part comes up. Being a little bit slow. Waiting. Alright, and we did have I see. As you can see, it's a typing error. Down here I put server lowercase in the code, and it's not lowercase. Server storage, wait for child. It's server part. That was me talking about server storage while I was typing. So, okay, let's try that again. So we'll save it, publish it, and give it a run. A little bit slow today. And there we go. There is our server part. And if we have a look up here in workspace, you'll see server part appears here. Okay, so that is our server part. Now, I'll show you how to do a couple of things with server part in the, actually we might break this up a little bit. So I'll stop this video here, and we will come back to what to do next, or what we can do with this in the next video. So I will see you there.